Now, at the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, they don't do simple. So if you ask them to call a spade, they would instead call it a one-person operated, manually controlled, foot-powered implement of simple and robust yet adequately efficacious lignometallic composition, designated primarily, though by no means exclusively, for utilization on the part of hourly paid operatives deployed in the agricultural, horticultural, or constructional trades or industries, as the case may be, for purposes of carrying out such excavational tasks or duties as may from time to time be designated by supervisory grades as being necessary, expedient, desirable, apposite, or germane, with regard to the ongoing furtherance of the task or objective in hand, or, on the other hand, underfoot, Secretary-General.
Well, back doing another YouTube video or wherever this stuff ends up video, and first of all I'd like to say thank you to all you who've watched, and Colin tells me I've subscribed, which means somewhere or other some of this information is hitting a target, and for all the targets of it, a thumbs up, you know, and thanks for watching, and please pass this information on, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're about building family, you know, not just family by name or family by definition, you know, family by heart and by outlook and by spirit, and because that's what we are, you know, we're moving through this mysterious planet with a million different influences coming at us each day, and, you know, we have to deal with them through our filter system and our belief system, and I believe there's 73 that have got a similar system to mine for subscribing, so thanks very much, and pass it on. And it only seems like 2 minutes ago to me, because, you know, when you get to my age and stuff, knocking on and granddad and all that, you know, time does seem to go quick, but to me it seems like 10 minutes ago we were doing a video here called Happy New Fear, and it had the Andrew Bridgen speech in it, and it had about the excess deaths in it, and about the tyranny and the evil people that hide behind the scenes, like the Klingons, you know, on Star Trek, where they have their invisibility cloak, and all you can see is a shimmer, you know, but Kirk is onto them, you know, we've got, and a lot of people are onto them now. They hide behind titles, and they hide behind letters, and they hide behind definitions and words, and, you know, every single agency, they want to hide behind that and control them like an AI robot for you as a man or woman to respond to. And they've tore the mask off over the last 4 years. They've gone too far for a lot of people who were absolutely unaware of their existence. They thought that, you know, the things that happen on a day-to-day basis are more or less happenstance, or the just a collection of unforeseen circumstances that create the reality that they see day to day on the TV and on the radio. They hear it and from the newspaper, then they get it from the colleagues in work, and then they chat about the same thing, but it's one source of information that comes to them, and that's the remit that forms the beliefs of sadly, like, far too many people, you know, and it's to their absolute detriment that you know, they don't exercise the God-given abilities and the God-given resources that just lie within each and every one of us, which is supposed to be our curiosity and our ability to explore and to examine and to question and to speak and to debate and to disagree. And this is where we form consensuses. This is where societies and villages and towns and like-minded people come together. We come together in society to be hospitable and to lift each other up, and to watch out for each other's children, and to give good instruction, and for the elders to be looked up to as a source of wisdom, who have been through more years of this nonsense than the younger people have. And all that at the moment just appears to have just been blown to pieces in most people's lives, in most people's realities, in their circumstances. The belief system have been shot to pieces, you know. And, you know, I'm 66 this year, which is you know, a bit of a dodgy number for you who are into all that, you know. And watching these videos since this COVID and the law stuff coming, which is how I started doing it, And I've watched these bags appear under my eyes, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what's happening to me? I'm thinking, I've got to do something. You know, I've got to move my bum, because I know better than to watch myself fall apart. Because, you know, my real thing, apart from the law, which is it's so simple, it's unbelievable how anyone can stumble, and with the law is a difficult one for me to comprehend. But the law is so simple. But my real passion is health, and biochemistry, and the internal, because I'm fascinated by what I see around me. You know, I'm fascinated that I come to this allotment every day. You know, I have done for 5 years. It was a fly tip when I took it on. And I've come here every day, and people have watched me as an old man dig it and shovel it. And they haven't got a clue how I can do it. And because it was a gift that was given to me, the ability, I appreciate the giftings that life affords me. You know, it affords me opportunity to be in touch with my Creator, to enjoy what He's put around me, to appreciate and dialogue with Him when I'm on my own, where it might look like I'm talking into a mobile phone, or I'm talking, no, I'm not. I'm talking to God. I'm talking to my Creator, my friend, who has given me the flowers to look at and to smell, has given me the birds to appreciate. They come into this shed and sit on the table. I give them worms. They're my friends. I have chickens here. They weren't chickens. They were the most sophisticated machine that, if you give every scientific laboratory on planet Earth $1 billion or unlimited resource, that they could not create something. They could not create a chicken. That is the most incredible thing, that it will interact with you, it will dialogue with you, it will befriend you, it will sit on your knee, it will peck at your boots, and it will lay in it a fresh egg for you every single morning, and watch you appreciate it. And nobody can do that. I don't know where that thing called a chicken is. I don't even know what it is. But I know that it's absolutely mind-blowing if you stop calling it a bloomin' chicken and try and work out what it is you're looking at, what it is you're into. Well, you don't need to look to outer space to have your mind blown with other intelligences. They're everywhere. They come and land on the tree. And I love to believe like that. You know, the one who created that done it so I can enjoy it spiritually on a different level than the horror that goes on, that the tears that are being shed all over the country. You know, the evil murderers that pose as our friends and our benefactors and our supervisors, and all those wicked evil people, those smiling machines, those professional liars who just talk to us daily, like the serpent in the garden, like Matt Hancock, like the COVID inquiry. Oh my goodness me, if you want to see the depths of human nature displayed, just go and sit and listen to some of those investigators in the COVID inquiry, and it will chill you to the bone. And what part of that is, I've watched and been aware of these people's activities now for close on 35 years. Well, that goes back a long, long way, and you know, I've isolated for many, many years, where people thought, oh, they're Carter, he's a nuts. Oh, you want to see what he says, you want to see what he does, for years and years and years. And that's a price that you pay. I mean, a lot of you are now experiencing it, maybe with your own family and with your own children, and I'm still experiencing it with my own children, the disbelief and the recoil from reality that, you know, leaves us who are aware, you know, absolutely blown away, that they've accepted this bubble of information, this propaganda that is put out, and they've accepted it as true and as a belief system that they will stand up for and they will defend, and they will lose, they will, you know, split off relationships with you over this fake belief system, that because all our beliefs are up for debate. You know, that's what the Word of God teaches me. I'm a Christian, I believe the Word of God, I follow the Word of God to the best of my ability, and I know that that's the path for me. That's the road I've chose to walk. And it tells me, it tells me and it tells you, if you're a believer, it says above all things. You know, when the word of God says above all things, this is important. You know, I've got to pull myself up sharp and say, wow, that's a big statement. Above all things, I can think of a million things that would prioritise. He says, above all things, strive, which means to wrestle, to sweat, to be in combat. It says strive to maintain. So that fighting is to maintain something you already possess. It's not to acquire anything. It's to maintain something that is inherent within you, that Almighty God knows is within you because He put it within you. And He's saying to you, above all things, strive to maintain. Have a guess what it is? A teachable spirit. A teachable spirit, not a knowledgeable brain, not an articulate dialogue, a teachable spirit, because what you pick up spiritually is going to govern your heart, your essence. And it also tells me in the book I follow and believe, it says that out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So you must listen. You know, you must pay attention to what these people say, because they speak in double speak. They speak in definitions and languages that are dazzling, because they are not like you and I. They have the persona of being like you and I, but they don't believe anything you believe. They are evil individuals who cling to power, who crave power, and who have been destroyed as children. They don't just choose to operate in this like monsters, like cold, calculated killers. This is their spiritual condition. This is their spiritual reality. And they were created from children to be psychopathic and to be psychotic and to be cold and to be ruthless, because these people are educated and brought up to run armies, to run corporations that are going to starve nations to death so they can take the crops away. These have got to sit there cold and callous and just look at the paperwork and tot up the bottom line and come together as a clan, as a family, as a bloodline, as an entity, as one moving force that is a real force on this planet, that governs the laws, governs the maritime laws, governs trade, governs commerce, governs the religious establishment, governs the schools, governs the health, governs... This is a family. This is a bloodline family with different facets and faces to it that hide behind letters and corporations. The corporation is a talking corpse. They are zombies, but they look like us. When we were young, you know, when we watched The Invaders, and you know, they're just talking about UFOs and planetary all over the place. This is not me. This is not me reading the Bible. This is me watching Congress. This is me watching the news. This is me watching Tucker Carlson. This is me watching, you know, the news in the BBC. That there's these flying entities, these flying saucers, these UFOs or USBs or whatever the blummer they call them now. They're entities. I know what they are. I know what I believe them to be. I believe them to be what the Word of God told me what they are. They are fallen angels. They have technology that they've given to evil individuals within that evil bloodline family. They've always been here. These flying objects and entities. The Bible describes the angels of light. They call them the messengers. An angel is a messenger of light, and these lights are buzzing round, and these people are conjuring them, and they're doing sacrifices and bringing that energy and that evil power onto here, and they're receiving instructions, they're receiving messages. You know, anyone that's looked through history, you can go right back down to era the Chaldees, you can go back to the Egyptians, you can go back to the Greeks, any single empire you can think of, and every one of them had the people who ruled and reigned like monsters. And you know, every one of them said that they were instructed by these entities, by these gods, that they came to them, as the Bible is littered with it. Every single, you know, historical record that's been written down is littered with this stuff. But we're not educated in any of that. You know, we're supposed to believe the pyramid was made by a load of Egyptians with sandals who wanted to spend their entire lives, you know, spent in worrying about the pharaoh's death at the second. This is just ridiculous. I mean, you know, come on, we've got inherent intelligence here. That pyramid and you know, and a thousand different things like that just don't make sense in this paradigm that we've been given as reality. Well, now think about the teaching in schools. You know, the whole thing is a horror story. It's a horror story, and we've been dead and browned. We've been hit with chemical, biological weapons when we were young, injected through syringes and put in foods, and the psychological damage of the TV. And you know, we've got to snap out of this bubble. We are being attacked, and we are being destroyed, and we are being murdered, you know, en masse, right in front of us, while many of us sit under like what seems to be a mass hypnosis syndrome, and like we're watching a generation game, as our children have heart attacks, as our nan and granddad are pumped full of toxic chemicals in the nursing homes, and now we've got like the cancer epidemic. You know, I mean, I was just coming in here this morning, it's Sunday, the sun's shining, you know, the birds are twittering, lovely, listening, and it says about King Charles, as you know, he's got pancreatic cancer, and you know, he's supposed to be doing a message somewhere in a church, or he's not doing it, whatever it is. And they're saying about it, you know, his daughter-in-law, Kate Middleton, you know, cancer. Remember when the COVID came on? And straight away when they announced it, within 5 minutes, Boris Johnson said he had it. And then the health secretary said, oh, she's got it. And the two of them disappeared for 2 weeks or so. Hiding. You know, and the next thing, we're all slammed with getting locked in the houses, and one thing and another, the police and the army on the streets, and liars in charge, and evil with its mask off. People now know, down the road, they're even hiding how many people they killed through their behaviour, their evil, wicked behaviour, and their inherent lies. But now you've got cancer, they're getting everyone prepared for cancer. I remember when the News of the World was out years ago, and the Bilderberg group were doing a meeting in Watford, and all the people were there protesting, as they should be, at these killers. And there was Alex Jones and there was David Icke, and they were doing a podcast, and this was on YouTube on a video, and Alex Jones lifted up what was the paper he'd picked up that morning, and it was the full News of the World, and he held it up and it said 1 in 3 Brits will contract cancer. You know, I can't remember how long ago that was. That was a decade ago. So, you know, who makes these demonic prophecies? You know, who puts this into... That was the front page of the paper. Everybody in the country must have seen it. We went to the paper shop, we walked past, bought a gallon of petrol. It was everywhere, 1 in 3. And you take that into your subconscious. That goes into your spirit. That's a demonic curse on you, on the country. 1 in 3 Brits will contract cancer. Oh, now here we are, a decade. I mean, there's been no breakthroughs. There's been no NHS, you know, there's nothing. Everyone's just frightened to death now for when they get it. You've got turbo cancer, where people in the 30s and the 20s are being diagnosed with terminal cancer, and they're dead within a couple of weeks. They're calling it turbo cancer. Can you believe it? Turbo cancer. Go for a walk now down the high street or round the park, and they've got defibrillators hanging on the lamppost with emergency, you know, for when you have a heart attack. What is going on here? You know, is this come as some sort of a shock? Well, no, it hasn't come as a shock. to those who are outside of that lying bubble of information, who don't ascribe to the belief system that's pumped to them by these evil families. That I follow a different line of inquiry. I follow a totally different reality. I follow the path to life. I look to see where life is taking me on this journey. And now people everywhere, I know I've got friends who have got cancer. I've got people that I could walk within 5 minutes of here, whose son has got a brain tumour. I've had the guy who runs this allotment has got autoimmune disease. He was a football coach up until a couple of years ago. I watched him shuffle to his car 4 days ago, and I spoke to him. We're going to come back, and hopefully we're going to, be able to impart some, drag him out of that bubble, drag him out of that system, that death system, that bloodline system, and put him under another system, a system where it's not, it's not death. It's not propaganda. It's not money. This is about compassion, and this is about man to man, man to woman, woman to woman. This is about us as just created spiritual entities. That we all need one another. We all need one another to be honest, and these people are just not being honest to us. I don't know whether Prince Charles has got cancer or whether he hasn't. I don't know whether Kate Middleton's got it or whether she hasn't, but she's disappeared. And I don't know where she's gone. I don't particularly care where she's gone. She's going to go to wherever her behaviour has led her to be, or others who she associates with their evil behaviour. I remember the Queen with Diana, with William's man, when she said to the butler, Paul Burrell, that was on the front page of the paper as well, and she warned them. She said there are dark forces at work in the palace. It was wording like that. Of course there are dark forces in the palace. They are evil. They worship evil. When they go up to the retreats up in the Highlands and in Scotland, what's that place called? It's called Baal Moral. Baal. There's an ancient deity that they sacrificed to. They took the little children to it, and the Bible is full of who Baal was. That's who they were commanded to destroy. The Baal worshippers, the bull. And then you've got Birmingham has just gone bankrupt. And a little time before that they had the Commonwealth Games there. And King Charles and Camilla were there and all of that. And you want to see the pagan festival that you was witness to, where they dragged the big massive robotic bull, Baal, and they drag it into the stadium. And tens of thousands of people. And all this demonic angels everywhere, and that's right in front of you. Did you notice it? I noticed it because that's the stuff I watch for, because it's spiritual. This is Baal worship, Baal model. We'll go and have a look at what the models, Baal followers followed. And now he's got cancer. I don't know whether that's true or not, but what it is, it leads the whole country to believe that if the king, who's got access to the very highest and the very best of information and medical knowledge, has contracted pancreatic cancer and there's nothing he can do, well, if I've got it, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to have to do whatever the NHS and whatever this programme system that we've been, had since we were children has produced in us. We're going to follow the doctor. We're going to follow, we're going to follow the hospital. We're going to follow, but we're never going to activate that inherent thing in us that is curiosity, the ability to search things out. And when you do begin to search that out, this is what this video is about, is to try and get you to break out of the fact that you do not need to be terrified at home about your health, about cancer, about Alzheimer's. You do not need to be at home frightened of arthritis, frightened to death of what's happened to you lately. That's the bubble you're in. That's the perception that this family, this evil bloodline has created and put into your psyche. and into your spirit, to produce fear and to produce obedience. It's not true, any of it. And I'm going to go through some of them for you, because I know, like that, some of these videos, I try to break it up a little bit, the scary stuff. But I mean, this world is scary. People are walking around in this town and in this country now that they're not going to be here for very much longer if we can't snap out of this bubble that we've been put in. If we can't snap our fingers and come out from Derren Brown control, which is the media, which is this system, this fake system that is anti-man, is anti-woman,